Good evening. Happy Wednesday. Why are we here? We are here because Wednesday matters. We are here because the middle of the week is the time we get to stop and reflect on what we're doing and whether or not it's working for us. To see if we are moving ahead on the goals that we've planned for the week or if we've been kind of sloughing off a little bit and maybe it's time to get re-energized and recommitted and re-excited about the possibilities for our lives, which is really what Wednesday Matters is all about. Getting excited about the possibilities, the potential for our lives, and what we can do about that to make the possibilities the realities for our lives. It's been kind of an exciting day, hasn't it? Um, Hi Jefferson, happy Wednesday. Did most of you watch the Harris Biden show this afternoon? I did, and I loved it. I loved it. Um, Now that Joe Biden has formally announced that Kamala Harris is going to be his running mate, it's kind of exciting. It's like we've got a real race going now, and a California girl is in it. California woman is in it. Um, I find that exciting. I find that very exciting. The last time I really remember a Californian being in the presidential race was Ronald Reagan, and I didn't quite get that. Now, if you're a Ronald Reagan fan, I'm going to apologize for what I'm about to say ahead of time. But I never thought he was a great actor. I didn't think he was a superb governor, and I really didn't think anybody was going to elect him president. But what do I know? Obviously, I was wrong, and I think he probably did a better job at being president than he did at acting or being governor. So there you have it. Tech department is looking at me going, "Oh God, she's getting into it." I kind of liked him as a personality. Anyway, good evening, everyone. Good evening, Dana. Good evening again, Jefferson. Uh, Jefferson liked the show this afternoon. Sign them up for 4 years. I'm all for that. Yeah, sure. The speeches were great. I thought. I thought they both had a lot to say. They're going to take on the present president. Those two words do not go well together. The incumbent president. See, it's much easier to say. Um, and it'll be interesting. I think it's going to be quite a race, and I suspect that the next. Where's Jennifer when I need her? She always knows exactly how many days. I'm thinking it's 84 now, but I might be off by a day or so. Um, we'll know, won't we? We'll have the opportunity to exercise our right to vote, and please, please, please do that. I feel like I'm preaching to the choir on that particular issue, but I'll preach on it anyway, choir. Um, let's get out the vote. Let's get people to 83. Thank you, Dana. I appreciate that. I knew I was close. I knew I was close. I've been following. Jennifer posts every day how many days to the election and some sort of an uplifting thought to go with it. And I've been checking in with her every day just because I want to see what she's doing. And I'm excited. I'm excited that she's doing it. So, 159 days to the inauguration, yeah. And I bet you that the time between the 83 days and the 159 days is going to be very interesting. Don't you think? Don't you think? I think it is. So, here we are, 83 days from the election. I think I'm going to say vote every time I get a chance to, because it's so important. And, check on friends if they need a ride or if they need to help you with the mail in or what. See what you can do to help. This is a real important, important election. And I love what Biden has to say about the soul of the nation. I really do. That he acknowledges, number one, that there is a soul of the nation, and that he's about saving it. I like the thought very much. Good evening, Susan. Glad to have you here. Yay, Susan's here. That always makes me happy. Um, so, how is everybody? How have you been doing this week or since Sunday, whichever is the truth for you? Um, are you excited about what's going on in the world? Are you afraid about what's going on in the world? What's going on? Tina wants us to smudge the White House. We could do that even from a distance, you know. I think that's not a bad idea. I kind of like it. I like it. I know I do. I'll get excited about the inauguration if that's appropriate for me at the time of the inauguration. Um, I figure the vote comes first. Without that, then the inauguration doesn't matter much, does it? So we'll just see what happens. We'll see what happens. I did like the speeches today. They look like a good team. Um, we'll see. We'll see what happens. And I suppose I'm mixing religion and politics somewhat.
What people should do is volunteer to help the post office sort
Ooh,
the mail
are they
right now.
accepting volunteers?
No, but we have to crash it because they're getting rid of the sorting equipment now as part of the build-up for Trump to win. So we have to volunteer to go help sort.
I hope you all heard that.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder if enough of us volunteer to sort that they'll get what we're trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm, interesting. Surgery on Friday, Tina. What kind of surgery, dear?
And her
The
hand.
hand? And what are they going to do? Without giving all the medical terms because I wouldn't understand them. And I don't need to know that part. So just fill me in on a few details. And of course I will pray. Of course I will. I guess all I really need to know is that it's hand surgery. God takes care of the details. That's not my venue. Thank you, God. I'm glad you wouldn't want me doing the surgery for you or even explaining it to anyone necessarily. Left hand. Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you. See, that's kind of important. We wouldn't want him doing surgery on the wrong hand, would we? That wouldn't be appropriate at all. Um, so here we are. It is 7:08 according to my computer on a Wednesday evening in the month of August. And how are you? I'm in a little bit of shock that it's August and that we're almost halfway through it. Um, I was looking at my copy of Daily Word this morning, and I had two copies out, the last one and the current one. The current one is July, August. And I looked at it and I thought, where did July go? And where is August going? It all seems to be just kind of disappearing. Um, okay, I am not going to try to pronounce that, Tina. I will just contracture. I got the last word. I'm not going to try the first one. Okay, yes, absolutely. You've done the practice run, so now it's time to get on with it. Aha! There is, of course, a link that CAC has posted about sorting the mail. That the sorting equipment is being removed, and Probably something we should all read. I haven't read it yet, so I'm not going to talk about it, except to mention that the link is there, and we should probably all read it and then be prepared to volunteer wearing our masks and our gloves to help the post office sort at election time. Yes? Yes. Okay. So, besides looking at my daily word and realizing that July has been and gone, which kind of came as a surprise to me, um, and then I realized that August was about to do the same thing if I didn't start paying attention to it. So, what I'd like to share with you this evening to start out with, and who knows where it will go from there, what I'd like to start out with you is the reading from today's daily word, because I thought it was pretty cool. Um, they called it breakthrough as the word of the day. And, well, let me just read it to you. My spiritual development is a journey of discovery. Through the years, I have grown in insight and understanding, sometimes slowly, other times rapidly. I am always changing, always growing into my potential as a spiritual being. But sometimes it can feel as if I'm not making much progress. I remember that even though I may not have been aware of my growth as it was happening, my development has been ongoing. But there are also times when I have sudden inspiration or clarity, like a butterfly emerging from a chrysalis and spreading its colorful wings for the first time. I am utterly transformed by my new understanding. Reading daily word always uplifts me. I can remember my mother reading it. It's Unity's publication, and they've been at it for a very long time. So they're pretty good at it. In between the 2 months that are in every little book, there are always a couple of stories, and they are always inspirational and charming. I recommend it to everyone on the path. Everyone. Like I say, that the thoughts lift me, the words lift me, they remind me. And then there are times when I think, what does it matter? The ice caps are melting, the politicians can't agree on the simplest, most important things. Children can't go to school, their parents can't go to work. The news is not good. In fact, it's pretty much all bad. What's the point? Now, I'm not anti-media. I probably never will be. I was a journalism major, and I believe with all my heart that the media is vitally important to our democracy. But if we were to look at life the way the media would have us look at life, if we were to read the papers and believe everything that is in them, if we were to listen to our radios and think that's the world as it really is, if we were to watch the evening news and actually believe that they could give us the whole world in 22 minutes, well, that's pretty scary. It could get depressing looking out there into the real world. It's not good news. There's people shooting people on the streets. There are people dying of a virus that so far seems unstoppable, unless, of course, you wear a mask, but then some people won't or don't. And it's at times like this, when I hear all of that on the news, that I am most grateful for what we have. For a philosophy that says, no, that is not the way life really is, look again. This is not a philosophy that denies what is going on out there, because most of us live our lives out there. But a philosophy that helps us keep things in perspective and helps us see beyond appearances. A philosophy that helps us to remember that there is a higher truth than what's showing up out there in our world. So I think it is particularly good for us to come together like this and get back in touch with who we are and what the truth is about our lives, so that we don't become one of those who have become so separated from the truth about their life they can't deal with life anymore. This philosophy is based on the idea that there is a perfect spirit out of which everything is made. Therefore, there is perfect humanity, because it is made out of that same spirit stuff. And therefore, there is perfect being within the life of each person, because we were made out of perfect stuff. Everything in this philosophy, everything in this practice, everything we conceptualize is based on the theory that spirit, perfect, creative spirit, not an old guy on a cloud with a nasty disposition, but a creative and motivating spirit that knows all and is all, and is the very essence of all that there is. And that essence is right where we are, and it is what we are. And there isn't anything else for us to be. It helps, really helps, to remember that. And it shows up in our life at the most opportune moments, if we will let it. So, have you ever been standing in a long line, maybe at the grocery store, and saying to yourself, why don't they ever bring in another cashier? Why do I always get caught in these awful lines? And then it gets worse if we let it. I'm tired. The cashier will probably be mean and grouchy when I finally get up there. They always are. That's probably when the tape will run out in the cash register, and I'll have to wait while they put in a new one. Or she'll say, sorry, it's my break time, and you'll have to go wait in another line. And so it goes in our heads. And so it is in our lives. Now, imagine that same scenario, and all of a sudden you stop the negativity and say to yourself, perfect God, perfect life, perfect being. God would not have to stand in line like this with his feet hurting, being the victim of a flawed system. God cannot be a victim. God is the motivating force in the universe, and I am one with that. And then suddenly you realize that the little voice behind you isn't an angel or your imagination. It's a cashier saying, ma'am, if you'd like to come over here, I'll take you now. What I know is that when we move our minds out of the place where everything is bad, everything is terrible, everything is impossible, to a place of saying everything is good, I am in a place where God is, and all things are possible, right here, right now. When we do that, the most amazing things begin to happen. Angels appear out of nowhere, and amazing opportunities show up. And they show up when and where you least expect them. If something appears to be wrong in your life, it's probably not wrong in and of itself. What is wrong is the arrangement of what is right in your mind. It's the shadow taking precedence over the light. It's seeing the shadow as the reality instead of realizing that there is something between the light and where you are that is creating the shadow, which of itself is nothing. And very often that thing between you and the light is a thought, your thought. It's mistaking the effect for a cause. And then living your life as though the effect was the reality. When we say it's bad and wrong, that things aren't working the way I want them to work, that I'm a victim, I'm living in the shadow of the truth, while the truth is there all the time. There is a greater life, a higher truth, just beyond the effect. If I were to move the effect out of the way, I'd find myself standing in the light, with all of the shadows behind me, where they belong. There is light just beyond the darkness of any situation or circumstance in our lives. There is life just beneath the symptoms of disease, disorder, and chaos in our lives. Everywhere there is light. There really isn't anything else. That light shines in and through everything and everyone. In The Anatomy of Healing, Ernest Holmes writes, "Someday you might be looking at someone and you might see the light. You might see them suddenly enveloped in light. They are suddenly enveloped in light to you, but they are not suddenly enveloped in light. It is merely that you looked up suddenly and saw their light. It is always there, and it is real." I'm not talking about seeing auras, although I don't doubt that that is the light we can easily see around each other if we look. I am talking about suddenly really looking and seeing the inner beauty in someone, seeing a glow around them, and suddenly seeing the good in them in a way that we have never seen before. Throughout the ages, those who could see the light tried to show us, tried to tell us about it. The painters who painted halos around the heads of the saints. The light on the path that the mystics speak of. It's the light of Moses' burning bush. It's the glow of love. It's the light bulb of a new idea coming forth from our minds. It's the light at the end of the tunnel. It's the light of the world. It is the light of creation that glows anew within each one of us. And it is there in each one of us all the time. If we look, we'll find it. If we don't look, we will never see it. If we look for the light, we will see it. If we look for the shadows are all that we'll see. In a painting, what makes it beautiful, what gives it feeling and depth, is the contrast of light and dark. There is no picture without both of those. We have to understand that darkness is simply there to contrast with the light. to make the light even more visible than it ever was. You cannot look at a painting and see only darkness, or you'll never find its beauty. You can't look at another person seeing only the darkness, or you will never see the light and the beauty within them, or yourself. We cannot look at our lives concentrating all the time on what is bad or wrong or missing and expect ever to find anything else. There is a light, a glow within each of us. There is a divine impulsion within each of us. There is a pattern of perfection within each of us that will get us past all of the negative things in our lives. If there were not such a pattern, if there were not such a light beyond the darkness, then we would keep repeating our neurotic thought patterns over and over and over and over again. All we would see is the darkness. We would keep repeating the history of the world endlessly because there would be no enlightenment. No new ideas, no new discoveries, no solutions, no joy, no beauty. If the world did nothing but concentrate on what was wrong, instead of believing that there could be something right, some light, then nothing would ever get solved. But there is such a light in the world. And we carry it within ourselves. And there is such a pattern of perfection in every living thing. If there were not that pattern, a seed would never burst out of its shell and send down its roots and send up shoots and become what it was intended to be. If there were not such a pattern, the birds wouldn't know how to nest, and children wouldn't know how to play, and the butterfly would never come out of its cocoon because all that it would ever see is darkness and the futility of its existence. And if there were not such a pattern, you would not be striving to express your dreams and aspirations. We are told that in the beginning the Creator said, "Let there be light." The light that was in the beginning is now and shall forever be, and is a large part of that which you are. It is the dream within you. It is the impulsion to something greater. It is the frustration over that which is not working. And it is the faith within you that there is more light than darkness to be found. It is that which keeps you looking for solutions. It is that which gives you hope beyond fear or confusion. It is, above all, that which is the spirit within you, seeking always to be more of itself than you may be allowing it to be. It's the light that shines in the darkness, and it shines within you, and there are a million ways that you can express it. Turn from the darkness, from the problems, from the frustrations, to the light in your spiritual practice. And in your daily life, take the news less seriously. It will pass. And take your divinity more seriously. In fact, take your divinity very seriously, because it's the truth of who you are. It is the key to the power within you. It is the hope of your future. It's a process for all of us, and there is much to be learned. We have to remind ourselves that although we are intrinsically already perfect, the road to the discovery and expression of that perfection is still under construction. Let us see the light, one situation at a time, one circumstance at a time, one challenging person at a time. Try this. When faced with one of those people for whom extra grace is required, close your eyes for a moment and then open them quickly so that just for a moment you might see the light within them. It's a start. And we have to start somewhere. Believe in yourself. Believe in the light and the possibilities within you. I'd like to take a moment and together let us be inspired by the words of the Daily Word for last Saturday, August 8th. Hear it, if you will, as a prayer or a meditation. Let the words move in you. I am part of an infinite circle of spiritual light that illuminates the world. Knowing that I am one with God bolsters my faith and deepens my understanding of the great power and presence within me. During times of quiet contemplation, I touch this timeless truth and feel my mind, body, and soul shimmer with light. This awareness of my divine identity remains with me throughout the days, lifting my mood, invigorating my steps, and opening my heart to everyone I meet in a spirit of friendship and love. My sacred moments of prayer deepen my awareness of my spiritual connection with all beings. I see each one expressing their divinity uniquely. And this realization lifts me to new heights of spiritual awareness. The author says that the inspiration for these words is John 12:36. Believe in the light so that you may become children of light. Believe in the light within you. Look for the light within others. Look for the light in the world and add your light to it, that we may live in a world that is so consumed by the light of spirit that there is nothing but perfection expression expressing. And remember, when someone is being less than light filled, close your eyes for a moment. Remember that the light is in everyone. Tell yourself the light is in everyone. And then open your eyes quickly. And perhaps, just perhaps, for a moment, you will see and know the light within them. And seeing that, you will once again affirm the light within yourself. Well then, beings of light, Jefferson, I'm reading your comment, and I think we have to let go of what we experienced in 2016. It is what it is. It was what it was. We can't undo that. Not unless we all wake up one day and realize that it's just been a dream or a nightmare. What we can know is that this era is different, that the intention behind it is different, that the prayers behind it are different. Stay strong. Stay strong. Know a higher truth. Ah, Susan's grandma did Daily Word too. Yeah. The Anne Marie song is very good. All Anne Marie songs are very good, I think. I'm a fan. Um, but there's a song called "A Little Good News," and yeah, check out YouTube. It's worth hearing. It does, Dana. Thank you for that. It takes so much energy to focus on the negative energy. It takes so much out of us that we're drained. And then we have very little energy left to do the positive work that we definitely need to be doing. And I'm not talking about just volunteering and doing work out in the world, although certainly there's a need for us to do that. But I am talking about doing the inner work. Pray, people. Don't gripe, pray. When you find yourself wanting to gripe, pray. Go to that place. Go to the higher place. Pray. Know a higher truth than what appears to be happening. If only for a moment. I talked about it in the talk. Um, you know, if there is a person or a situation that needs for you to change your mind about it, do that. Close your eyes for a second. It only takes a moment. Close your eyes for a moment and say, perfect God, perfect life, perfect being. Just for a moment. Remember that God is all there is. And so this situation is, in fact, a God being acting out. And we've seen a lot of that lately, haven't we? Know that everyone carries the light. Not everyone shines it. Call forth the light and watch what happens. Susan, you have the best way of expressing. I hope you're all reading these. Susan says I carry an extra charger with me at all times in case the voltage of people or situation gets dim or blows a fuse. It's called God. I love that. I love that. Yeah, the golden mist thing is. But you want me to? I'm not going to do it again tonight because we've already done a meditation, and I don't know that I can find it that quickly. Um, well, hold on a minute. Talk amongst yourselves. Let me see what I can do. Oh, fine. It told me it was on my desktop, and then it told me they couldn't find it. Rats. Next Wednesday, I promise. We'll do the golden mist meditation again because I love it too. I'm a big fan of it, thanks to Andrew Harvey. Did I get the right Andrew? There's two Andrews out there doing metaphysical work, and periodically I confuse them in my mind. But definitely, we will definitely do that on next Wednesday. I'll put it into my notes in my agenda. Dana reminds us that Michelle Obama always says, when they go low, we go higher. That's what I'm saying. She just said it better. When and the they doesn't have to be a person. It can be a situation. It can be a set of circumstances. When they go low, you go higher. Go to God. You don't get any higher than that. Go to your highest self. Be your highest self. Take a moment. Close your eyes if you have to. And if they say, why are you closing your eyes? Just say, my eyes were tired. I'm tired. That would be the truth under the circumstances. I'm tired. And then when you open your eyes again, open them having said to yourself, God is all there is. This being, this situation, this is all God stuff. Because there isn't anything else. So I will know there is good in it. I will know there is good in them. I will know that there is light in everything. Now open your eyes. But first do your work. Go higher. Go to the source. And I know it's really tempting. It is really, really tempting sometimes to say God is all there is and it's in everyone except. And then we all have a list, don't we? It's my personal list of people that God is clearly not in. If it's in everyone, it's in everyone. And we will come from a higher place. We will do higher work. We will accomplish more if we know that than if we are fighting who or what we think is going on. That accomplishes nothing. Go higher. Go to the light. And then watch what happens. You can do it. You can do it. We can all do it. We just have to do it. See, and therein is that to think about it later, oh, I should have, doesn't accomplish the same thing. However, even if you realize you didn't do it and blew a fuse, take a moment when you do realize that and do it. It's never too late to have a calming thought. It is never too late to be inspired by the truth. It is never too late to tell the truth, even to yourself. Really. really. So, where are we now? This is fun. Tina says she could sing, but no one would hear. However, the cats would enjoy it. See, when I sing, the cats run out of the room, and the dog stays and listens to me talk. The puppy's right down here, right now. He's been dreaming and kind of grunting and groaning a little. If you heard strange noises, honest, it wasn't me, it was him. Um, but I love him, and he can pretty much do anything he wants to do. Bless his little heart. He's a good puppy. We have two now. Two pretty amazing little guys. And four cats. All of whom are doing pretty well. Susan, I know you're probably getting ready to ask, so let me answer. Um, our little PV, Percival, is doing pretty well. He's on fluids now, and he doesn't like that very much because he has to sit still for 10 minutes, and it's just not in his DNA to sit still for 10 minutes. But he does for his mom. That mom, not this mom. I couldn't put a needle in him. It would just break my heart. Um, but Dr. Mom is real good with stuff like that. So we're taking care of the babies like we all do, and praying for all of you all of the time, and also specifically for things that you ask us to pray for. So please feel free. Susan says, I'm not sure God is in everyone. You'll get there. Yes, I'm not saying it's easy to get to. I'm not. Some people make it really difficult to get to. What I am saying is it's there. And if you look, you will find it. Then what you do with that information is, up to you. There are a lot of people acting out in a lot of really terrible ways. There's no doubt about that. But even within them, there's the light. They just can't or won't or don't know how to shine it. And perhaps we can do something to help that. Or just stay away if that's what's best for you. Because you have to protect yourself and you have to take care of yourself. And, well, my mama told me you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink, So we can't save the whole world. Let's just start with what we can do. We can volunteer to sort things at the post office. I signed a petition yesterday that was about not removing all of the equipment from the post offices and potentially finding somebody else to be the postmaster general than the current person, who is taking a flawed system and making it almost impossible, apparently, to do its work. So, pray for the post office. There's something you could do. Most of us don't have any kind of negativity about the post office in general. If we do, it's minor. I mean, they've been doing a pretty amazing job for a very long time. Let's pray for the post office. We'll put that in our closing prayer. Cac's happy. Yeah, we could do that. We can do that. So, I'm thinking, since we've got a little bit of a list here, we should pray. Let's do that. Close your eyes if that's comfortable for you. Otherwise, just soft focus. And take a moment and simply become aware of the light within you. The first words we are told that creation uttered on the first day of creation was, "Let there be light." And the light that shone then billions of years ago is still the light within each of us. From the beginning, it has multiplied and multiplied and multiplied in an endless succession of light beings. And it rests in us now, ready to shine as brightly as ever it has. Find the light within you and let it spread, let it shine, let it move into every corner of your body and your mind and your heart. And recognize that as you breathe, as you inhale the light, and as you exhale more of the light, and the light is just coming and going and becoming you, and being exhaled is becoming that which you speak into reality. And so we speak, knowing that as we do, we shine light on that which we claim and awaken it and make it real. And so we speak our word tonight for all of those who have asked for prayer, all of those whose lives or bodies are undergoing change. And we shine the eternal light upon them and upon those situations, and know that in the light only truth can prevail, and only good can demonstrate. And we shine the light on Tina and her surgery and her left hand, and know that that surgery goes exceedingly well, perhaps even easier than the surgery on the right hand. And we celebrate that. And we speak our word and shine our light on the whole United States Postal Service, knowing that its intention has always been good. That in all circumstances and all weather, its dedication has been to the delivery of the mail, and this does not change now. But rather new and innovative ways are found to make sure that the mail, particularly the ballots for the election in November, are all delivered swiftly, carefully, and completely. And not one ballot is left out of the counting. And we know that the service of the United States Postal Department is better now than it has ever been, and will continue to be so. And I leave a space in this prayer for a moment for all of us to speak the words about anything that we request prayer for our family, our friends, for our nation, for the highest good of all of those situations and circumstances and people. We recognize ourselves as beings of light, beings of truth, beings of God. And we bless everyone and affirm for everyone their highest good. And closing our eyes for just a moment, we say simply, perfect God, perfect life, perfect being. And know that to be true. And in a moment we will open our eyes, expecting to see the good, to see the light. And we will. Let us inhale, exhale, and open our eyes. And know that we carry every day of our lives the light within us, blessing the world. We contribute to that infinite chain of light that lifts and heals and accomplishes only the greatest good, wherever it may fall. And so it is. Well, light beings, shine your light. Just go about your work this week knowing that the most important thing that you can do is shine your light and look for the light in others, especially those for whom extra grace may be required. They're out there, and they need your attention. So there's your homework for the week. Shine your light. Be the light. Affirm and reaffirm the light within you. And watch what happens. I thank you for being here. I thank those of you always who share our talk by putting it on your website or your timelines. Many of you now are doing that, and I am deeply grateful. Thank you to all of you who have gone to the trouble of going to the Relevant Spirituality website, www.relevantspirituality.com, and making donations. All of that is so very much appreciated. It makes a difference. It allows us to keep everything going, and thank you for that. And, gosh, it's 8 o'clock. Have a beautiful rest of your evening. Have a beautiful rest of your week. It's Wednesday, and we have more to look forward to. Hopefully, I will see you on Sunday. Sorta. You'll see me on Sunday. If you look, you know where to find me. Susan's turning on the light in her freezer for ice cream. Yay! Good night to everyone. I love you. You have made my Wednesday. I hope I've helped brighten yours. God bless. See you Sunday at noon or next Wednesday right back here at 7 o'clock. Have the most wonderful week. God bless.